Donald Trump's estimated net worth in 2019 was $3.7 billion. He is a business magnate, television personality, and the former president of the United States. But when did this wealth originate? How has he managed to keep it for so long? In this video, we will examine the origins of Donald Trump's riches and how he has maintained such a high net worth throughout the years. From real estate transactions to reality television, continue watching to learn about the man behind the money. Stay tuned to the end because our last point is something you may be surprised about. And make sure to subscribe and like the video so that you can learn how to achieve financial freedom. Donald Trump's father provided him with gifts, loans, and other forms of income. In 1949, Trump's father established various trust accounts for his infant son, to which Trump's paternal grandmother eventually contributed. Trump is the single beneficiary of these trusts, which throughout the years have funded his lifestyle and business endeavors. These trusts are a significant source of Trump's wealth since they have enabled him to live an extravagant lifestyle and finance his enterprises without the need for outside investors or loans. Additionally, the trusts are free from federal taxes, allowing Trump to dodge paying millions of dollars in taxes over the years. According to several reports, Donald Trump received gifts, loans, and other forms of income from his father. Trump has disputed these claims, but the evidence indicates otherwise. In 1974, when he was just starting out in business, Donald Trump borrowed $1 million from his father. The financing enabled him to purchase a modest office building in Manhattan, which he subsequently restored and resold for a profit. According to Trump, the loan was interest-free and he was simply required to return the principal. However, according to paperwork filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, in 1977, Trump first paid interest on the loan. The SEC filings also disclosed that Trump's father, Fred Trump, guaranteed the loan, meaning he would have been responsible for payments in the event that Donald Trump was unable to pay. Consequently, why did Donald Trump take money from his father? Because of his lack of collateral and prior company failures, banks were likely hesitant to lend him money at the time. By borrowing money from his father, Trump was able to obtain the capital he needed to launch a new company. And it appears that both sides benefited from the loan. Donald Trump was able to successfully begin another company, and his father was repaid with interest. Trump's father, Fred Trump, made a substantial fortune as a successful real estate developer. It is possible that Donald Trump inherited part of his wealth. The Washington Post reported in 2016 that Trump had received at least $413 million from his father over the years. In 1978, Fred Trump reportedly paid his son $14 million to assist him in purchasing the Commodore Hotel in New York City. He also offered Trump loans totaling millions of dollars. Donald Trump appears to have benefited from Fred Trump's business transactions in addition to gifts and loans. It has been suggested, for instance, that Trump received special treatment while leasing space in his father's properties. Whether or not these claims are accurate, it is certain that Donald Trump has financially profited from his father's fortune. This is another instance in which the Trumps have utilized their family's wealth and status to advance in life. Trump has consistently said he is a self-made man who began with nothing, despite being the recipient of these trust assets. The existence of these trust funds, however, casts doubt on Trump's statement about his financial past and raises questions about how he amassed such tremendous wealth. Donald Trump received money after the death of his father. When Fred Trump died in 1999, his estate was appraised at $1.2 billion, and Donald Trump inherited $413 million from it. This bequest made him a millionaire before he reached the age of 40. Some claim that Donald Trump became a great businessman simply because he inherited his father's wealth. But this is only partially accurate. Yes, the bequest provided him with a head start, but he also made shrewd business decisions along the way. For instance, Donald Trump purchased the Plaza Hotel for $390 million in 1985. It was a calculated gamble that paid off. 4 years later, when the hotel was losing money, Trump turned it around and sold it for $575 million. Donald Trump was involved in many lawsuits. Donald Trump developed a name for himself as a tenacious litigator in the early 1990s, suing everyone he believed had harmed him. he famously sued the city of New York for $100 million when it denied him permission to construct a higher skyscraper than permitted by zoning regulations. He also sued an architect critic who dubbed his proposed project a malignancy on the skyline. However, Trump's most well-known litigation may have been against novelist and journalist Tim O'Brien, who alleged in his book that Trump was not as wealthy as he claimed to be. Trump filed a $5 billion lawsuit against O'Brien, but the case was eventually thrown out. So, did Donald Trump profit from his lawsuits? It is tough to say. He earned a reputation as a ferocious litigator, although it is unknown how much money he actually made from these cases. Trump amassed a huge fortune in real estate. Donald Trump gained money in the real estate industry by investing in properties and selling them for a profit. In the 1970s, he began his business by purchasing houses in New York City and reselling them for a profit. He maintained his real estate investments, acquiring buildings in Atlantic City and Florida. He began to focus on luxury residences and golf courses in the 1990s. Trump's current portfolio of real estate includes office buildings, hotels, and residential properties. This is how he made most of his fortune. Donald Trump made money from the book The Art of the Deal. Trump has stated that his book The Art of the Deal has earned him millions of dollars. According to financial disclosure forms filed by Trump during his presidential campaign, between 2014 and 2018, he received at least $1.1 million in royalties on the book. This does not include any additional earnings from speaking engagements or any associated commercial activities. So how did Trump make so much money off just one book? Initially, he was paid a substantial advance upon signing the contract. Publishers often offer writers advances based on predicted sales, and given Trump's fame, his advance was likely substantially larger than average. It is also crucial to note that The Art of the Deal was a New York Times bestseller, spending 13 weeks on the list. This indicates that Trump was receiving royalties for each copy sold, which can mount up rapidly when hundreds of thousands or millions of copies are sold. As a clever businessman, it's hardly surprising that Trump was able to make so much money from his book. However, it is fascinating to observe how profitable the publishing sector can be, even for non-professional authors. Donald Trump earned money on his show The Apprentice. As the executive producer and presenter of the television program The Apprentice, Donald Trump earned money. Trump was able to negotiate a larger compensation for himself as executive producer. In addition, he earned a portion of the show's earnings. While Trump's actual earnings on The Apprentice were undisclosed, it is safe to assume that they were substantial. Trump's participation in The Apprentice contributed to his fame and increased his public image. In turn, this helped him establish his brand and raise his net worth. In addition to profiting from the program itself, Trump also profited from licensing agreements and sponsorships that were a direct result of his growing popularity. So, while Donald Trump may have begun with a tiny loan from his father, he was able to rocket himself into the stratosphere of money and success with The Apprentice. Donald Trump has property in foreign nations. Trump's real estate assets extend beyond the borders of the United States. He has substantial ownership interest in several properties throughout the globe. In reality, Trump's overseas assets are among his most valuable and recognizable. The Trump Organization owns or manages properties in at least 18 non-US nations, including Panama, Turkey, Ireland, and Canada. Trump has also licensed his name to properties in nations as far as Azerbaijan, Brazil, India, Indonesia, the Philippines, South Korea, and Uruguay. Many of these overseas holdings are expensive hotels or resorts that appeal to rich guests and give a taste of the high life. One such building is the Trump International Hotel and Tower in Toronto, which features a 5-star hotel and premium condos. With 70 floors, the Trump Ocean Club International Hotel and Tower Panama is the highest structure in Latin America. Trump also owns office buildings, golf courses, wineries, and other properties in nations such as Scotland, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. It is noteworthy that the majority of Trump's foreign real estate assets are concentrated in only a few nations, despite the fact that his enterprises cover the globe. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to find out more ways you can become financially independent.